Welcome to Tech News for July 6, 2021. Google, Facebook, and other tech companies threaten to quit Hong Kong over privacy law. The Guardian reports. An Asian industry group that includes Google, Facebook, and Twitter has warned that tech companies could stop offering their services in Hong Kong if the Chinese territory proceeds with plans to change privacy laws. The warning came in a letter sent by Asia Internet Coalition, of which all three companies, in addition to Apple, LinkedIn, and others, are members. Proposed amendments to privacy laws in Hong Kong could see individuals hit with severe sanctions, said the June 25th letter to Territory's Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data, Ada Sheng Lai-ling, without specifying what the sanctions would be. Introducing sanctions aimed at individuals is not aligned with global norms and trends, said the letter, whose contents were first reported by Wall Street Journal. The only way to avoid these sanctions for technology companies would be to refrain from investing and offering their services in Hong Kong, thereby depriving Hong Kong businesses and consumers, whilst also creating new barriers to trade. New MacBook Air could arrive early 2022 with M2 chip and iMac colors. TechRadar reports. The next MacBook Air will be the first laptop from Apple to use the next generation M2 chip when it purportedly arrives in 2022, complete with the iMac-like color schemes and the MacBook Pros, which are expected to debut before that, likely later this year, which will use the M1X chip. That's the rumor from leaker Dylan DKT, an iOS developer who regularly shares Apple-related findings on Twitter and has proved accurate in the past. The M2 will most likely be built on the same foundation as the A15, which is the chip designed for the iPhone 13 later this year. Ransomware Gang REvil takes credit for Kaseya ransomware attack. Gizmodo reports. REvil posted a message accepting responsibility for the attack on its dark web blog. The ransomware gang, which has been suspected of being the culprit before it went public, also shed further light on the purported scale of the attack, claiming that more than 1 million systems were infected. Kaseya reported the attack last Friday. REvil, also known as Sodinokubi, is a notorious cyber criminal gang that has used ransomware to go after big companies including Apple and Acer. REvil has demanded a sum of $70 million in Bitcoin to negotiate about the universal decryptor for the attack. If paid, they will publish publicly decryptor that decrypts files of all victims, so everyone will be able to recover from the attack in less than an hour. In some unconfirmed news, it is heard that they have reduced the ransom to $50 million in Bitcoin. Twitter has lost its liability protection in India, government says. TechCrunch reports. Twitter no longer enjoys liability protection against user-generated content in India, the government said in a court filing this week, as tension escalates between the two over India's new IT rules. The government on Monday said that Twitter has lost its immunity in India after they failed to comply with the new local IT rules, which were unveiled in February and went into effect in late May. Experts have said in recent weeks that Indian court and not Indian government holds the power to decide whether Twitter gets to keep its safe harbor protections. Safe harbor protection says that the tech platforms won't be held liable for things that users post or share online. Without the protection, Twitter, which according to mobile insight firm App Annie has over 100 million users in India, is on paper responsible for everything those users say on its platform. Samsung Q2 profits set to rise as chip demand grows. TechRadar reports profits at Samsung look to have surged by 38% during the second quarter of 2021 as strong demand for consumer electronics and data center equipment led to a boom in the market for chips. According to estimates from Refine TV, which aggregates and weights forecasts with multiple analysts, operating profit for the period between April and June reached 11.3 trillion won or 7.2 billion pounds. This represents its best Q2 since 2018 and is a 20% rise from Q1. Meanwhile, it is thought overall revenues rose by 15.4%. These gains came despite a slump in sales of Samsung's own smartphones from 76 million in Q1 to 59 million. Analysts attributed this decline to falling demand for its flagship handsets, slowing sales in pandemic hit India, and a shortage of components for some handsets caused by the pandemic. Quick news. Bloomberg reports Amazon founder Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO on Monday, handing over the reins as the company navigates the challenges of a world fighting to emerge from the coronavirus pandemic. Andy Jassy, who ran Amazon's cloud computing business, replaced Bezos, a change the company announced in February. Samsung has released its Galaxy F22 in India with a starting price of $12,499 for the 4GB 64GB variant and $14,499 for the 6GB 128GB variant. The phone will go for sale via Flipkart from July 13th onwards. It has a quad camera setup and is powered by the MediaTek Helio G80 chipset. Xiaomi to return back to tablet market to take on Apple and Samsung. They halted their tab lineup for a couple of years, but now it seems that they will be releasing the Mi Pad 5 in the coming months. It is likely that it will be powered by the Snapdragon 870 chipset. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. You can read more about these stories from the links provided in the description.